let's kick it off with Elon Musk, because this is kind of exciting. I have to say, I'm excited about this. We knew, so just to bring the audience up to speed, he took over 9.2% of the Twitter stock last week, and what was a surprise to many of us, about $3 billion worth of stock, making him their largest stockholder. And Twitter seemed to be having an oh crap moment in response to that, and said, seemed to believe that they could control Musk if they put him on the board and got him to agree that he would buy not much more. If he bought more, it would amount to maybe just 14%, 15%, but no more than that. And that way there would be no hostile takeover. And if he sat on the board, he'd be prohibited from doing certain things. He'd have a fiduciary obligation. He wouldn't be able to tweet out weird things like, should we turn the headquarters in San Francisco into a homeless shelter? Should we change the name from Twitter to losing the W? Stuff that he was tweeting last Saturday after it was announced he would be joining the board. Well, then comes Sunday, and Twitter tweets out, the president tweets out, he's decided not to join the board. He didn't like all those restrictions. It didn't sound like Elon Musk to be boxed in like that anyway. And so the New York Times, the Daily podcast was saying today something like, he's not a 50% kind of guy. And so there was already speculation about whether this was the beginning of a hostile takeover, and especially when he refused to join the board. And now we know, I guess, it is, right? So tell us, in terms, even I can understand what he's done today and how this is likely to go.
Well, today he's supposedly announced that he's made an offer to buy the entire company. But, I don't think Elon Musk has any intention of buying Twitter. I don't think he has the ability, the liquidity to finance such a large purchase. So I think he's just having fun. I mean, I don't know if it's just him being eccentric, or maybe he has a plan. Maybe he thinks he'll be able to unload these Twitter shares. I mean, he already has a pretty big paper profit on the position he has. So maybe his goal is to get out into all the hype and make a little money. But I don't think he's going to buy the company. I don't think it's worth what he is contemplating paying, nor do I think he can finance the offer in the form that he's making it.
So even Elon Musk cannot necessarily spare the cash to buy Twitter, and he's the richest man in the world.
Yes, but he's the richest man in the world because of the paper value of his holdings, predominantly in Tesla, but also in SpaceX. But he would have to sell his stock in order to get the cash, which would collapse the price of the stock, in order to raise the cash. And does he really want to do that? Does he really want to get rid of so much Tesla to buy Twitter? And what does that say about what he believes the relative value of Tesla is? He would be sending a message to Tesla shareholders that, Twitter's a much better buy than Tesla. That's why I'm dumping all my Tesla to buy Twitter. And so even more people would be dumping Tesla. So he doesn't have, $40-50 billion in spare change lying around. I doubt he's going to want to borrow the money and pledge his shares as collateral, because what happens if he gets a margin call? Now he's in an even worse position to have to liquidate those shares. So again, I think it's a bunch of noise. Maybe he's just having a lot of fun with the markets, with the media, and he may end up walking away with a nice profit. And a lot of other people who tried to ride on his coattails will have overpaid for their Twitter stock.
Because already the stock has gone up. I think they said something like 54%, just based on post his initial investment. So he's already, if he sold his stock today, he would have made some good dough on it. But what he's saying now is he's offering $54.20 per share. He writes, he says, quote, "I have moved straight to the end. Quote, I don't have confidence in management." And he says Twitter has extreme potential. I will unlock it, but says this is his best and final offer. And we put Twitter, as you point out, at about a $43 billion valuation.
Well, first of all, best and final offer, I mean, that could be a negotiating ploy. So if he really wants Twitter, he would be willing to pay more than that offer. That's his opening salvo in this battle. But again, I don't think it's legitimate. I do think he wants the price of Twitter to go up. But if you actually listen to what he just said, he doesn't like the management. He doesn't have any confidence in the management. Well, if that is true and he isn't able to take over the company, then why would he hold on to the stock? He would sell it. And I think he's basically laid the foundation for selling his shares if they don't accept his offer. And for all we know, he's already doing that. I don't know what the rules are as far as, what he has to disclose. But if he makes an offer and they turn it down, there's nothing that says that he has to hold his stock.
Is there any chance they do accept his offer?
I don't think so. I mean, I think these guys want their jobs, right? I mean, that's, the management just generally wants to keep their jobs. And they want to say, well, it's not in the best interest of shareholders because we don't think that you could effectively manage the company. Who cares? The stockholders will be out. They're going to get cash. They're not going to be shareholders anymore. So that's just a ruse. It doesn't matter. If the shareholders think that $54 is a good price, then they should accept it. And personally, I think Twitter is not worth $54 a share. And so I would just call Elon's bluff and say, yeah, we accept. And see, but that could also cause the stock to crash when he doesn't do it. So I don't know. I think they're in a tough spot.
So this is just entertainment. That's what you think. He's kind of known as a Twitter troll in what I think is a fun way. Sometimes it's gotten him in trouble. It's gotten him sued. But
this has already gotten him sued. They've already had lawsuits now filed on behalf of Twitter, and I'm sure if he ends up selling his stock, he's going to get sued for that too.
Just another
But he
day.
can't afford to pay lawyers. He's got a lot of money for that.
That's absolutely right. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.